Would you believe me if I told you that I became a father and an uncle at the exact same time? A little over 100 days before that, I lost my mom to pancreatic cancer. I literally witnessed my mom passing away, taking her last breath, and I witnessed my son being born, and two major life events happening back to back, and witnessing them both, it's pretty much a mind bleep. If my son had not been born, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you. And it's a story within my personal growth and intentional living story that I would like to share with you. If you don't know me already, I'm Clark, and I'm an alcoholic. I am thankfully and blessedly a sober one at that, and I'm all about living this life that I like to call the fearless, authentic, impeccable life. Living a life where we are working towards becoming the best version of ourselves. My commitment to this channel and these videos is that I want to help others do the exact same thing. So if you think that that's interesting, or maybe something that you would find valuable, would you just do me a huge favor and just hit that thumbs up button, because it just helps me know that we're connecting. It also allows me to get this video out to others. So it's a huge sign of support, and I really, really appreciate it. And now, I did not always live a very intentional life. Honestly, until 2014, I lived a very unintentional life. And honestly, I call it kind of ghosting. I ghosted through my life. I drank a lot, I numbed my pain, I self-medicated for a myriad of reasons, which we won't get into necessarily right here. But this continued well into 2014, and even after I became a father, after my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer on June 3rd, 2014, and was gone less than 6 months later on November 23rd, 2014. The crazy thing in all of this, which I did not share much in my story from last week, I'll put a card at the end of this video so you can check out my story from last week. A couple weeks after we found out that my mom had cancer, I then found out I was going to be a dad. And then a couple weeks after that, we found out that my mom's cancer was stage 4, which was not good for pancreatic cancer. Obviously, it's a very bad prognosis. And that exact same day, I found out that my sister was pregnant. Alone, her story is a miracle that she was going to be a mom. So here we are, a family with a matriarch sick, very sick, and the first 2 grandchildren of the family on their way. So my mother was highly motivated to fight cancer and to beat cancer. She was a tenacious woman, and she did everything and anything in her power to win. But unfortunately, pancreatic cancer is a bad one. And she lost her battle slowly, and she left on November 23rd, 2014. And then fast forward a few months later to when my son's expected due date was February 24th, 2015 or thereabouts. He is 2 weeks late to the day and is born 5 hours after his cousin, who's 2,000 miles away. I became a father and an uncle at the exact same time, and it happened 3 months after my mom died. In all of this, I was a functioning alcoholic. Well, we'll call it. I did my job, I showed up, I paid the bills, I took care of business like a man does, and then I would shut my brain down with alcohol. And this continued during the final trimester of my then wife's pregnancy, and it continued after my son was born, because I just didn't know how to cope with the pain of losing my mother and also becoming a parent at the same time. Becoming a parent while losing a parent. I try to explain this to people sometimes. There's not many people that understand out there what that's like. I mean, if you're watching this and you understand what that pain and that love is like, give me a thumbs up, because that way I know that you're out there and I know that we're connecting on this stuff. But becoming a parent while losing a parent, that is a duality beyond belief. 2 life events happening back to back almost for me. Witnessing my mom pass away and quite literally watching her take her last breath, and then literally watching my son be born. That is grief, and that is ecstatic love and joy melded and blended together in a way that honestly left me numb for a very, very long time. I mean, I grieved my son never getting to meet his grandmother. I was grieving my mom never getting to cook with my son. I was grieving not getting to see my mom read a bedtime story to my son. I mean, all these dreams and ideas of family, and suddenly it's just gone. And that's a very numb feeling. And so I dealt with it And the only way that I, as an alcoholic then, knew how to, I numbed myself every chance that I was able to without derelicting my duties as a father. But what I'm trying to say in all of this, my friends, the point of this story, is that life can get really dark at times. It can get really hard when you're not expecting it. I mean, that's life for you. But life will also give you tethers. Life will give you a lifeline that will give you a reason to go on, that will give you a reason to just keep taking one step after another. My son that year was born for a specific reason in that moment, because I needed a lifeline after my mom's death. If my son had not been born during that time after my mother passed away, I do not believe that you and I would be sitting here having this conversation. I'm not saying I know what would have happened, but I know in the years after my son was born where my mind went many times. Even after I went downhill even further and I had to hit rock bottom, I still had him. I had that lifeline. I had that tether to reality, to a life better than what I was allowing myself to have then. And so for you, if you're listening, if you're struggling, if you're feeling grief, if you've lost a parent, if you've lost someone that you loved, if you are just in a dark place right now, if you're hitting rock bottom, I just want you to know I totally get it. I understand. And I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you that the pain is just going to go away, but I will tell you that there is a lifeline out there for you. There is a tether to the real world if you look for it and if you find it. There is a reason to keep going, one day at a time, one step at a time, 1 minute at a time, because there is a better version of yourself out there that you can become if you can get through this day. And then if you can get through tomorrow, and then if you can get through next week, and if you can just accept that maybe it's time to change before life forces you to change. My mom dying in less than 6 months was a catalyst for me to change. And unfortunately, more often than not, it takes rock bottoms. It takes unspeakable pain for people to finally say enough is enough. I'm sick of it. I'm not gonna live my life like this anymore. And no matter what it may be for you right here, right now in this moment, if you can find that lifeline, no matter what it is, it will give you the strength to keep going, even in the darkest and hardest of times. So that's all I've got for you. Heavy stuff, but I hope it's powerful stuff. If you like that, give me that thumbs up, because that will just help this video get out to others who need help, who maybe need to hear this, who want to know that they're not alone. If you'd be willing to share this with anyone and everyone, I really appreciate it. It's a huge sign of support. And of course, if you'd consider subscribing, that is an amazing honor for me to have you join my channel. And ultimately, it just allows me to continue to be able to make content and videos that I hope will make a positive impact in your life and other people's lives. And I hope I get to see you again. I really do. I hope you come back. Until I hopefully see you again, I really hope that you'll check out maybe that playlist right over there, or the video right down there is the one I mentioned from last week, and you can click on it and check it out. And something I like to say at the end of every video, a little food for thought: be authentic, be fearless, be you, and everything else will fall into place. Thanks so much for your time, my friends. See you next week.